Hello, people. How are you all doing today? So, I still want to discuss something else now about moms, of course, and that's breastfeeding. Hmm. So, breastfeeding varies from mom to mom, depends on your choice and your decision at what works for you. But personally, what I do is exclusive breastfeeding, at least for the first 6 months of my child's life. I do exclusive breastfeeding. Exclusive breastfeeding means that I don't give the child no baby formula, and that's it, just breast milk. So whether the child has a hiccup, is I'll have to breastfeed, or whatever it is, it's always mommy, 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 and all of that. So breastfeeding is actually exclusive breastfeeding is actually very demanding, honestly, especially for the mother. It's very demanding. It's really not easy, and but it's wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. So let me share with you what works for me and how I was able to pull through for my other children. And presently, I'm still exclusively breastfeeding my son. So what I do is this: I ensure that I take lots of fluids, lots of liquid, lots of water. Very important. You have to take lots of water. If not, you'll be dehydrated. You have to take vitamins. There are lots of vitamins in the market. There's a particular one I use. It's very good, but just make sure you take vitamins. And I one thing I also do is I take my antenatal medication, my supplement. I take it. I still take it after childbirth. I take it for the first 3 months because it still helps. It helps the folate, the folic acid, or calcium, potassium, all of that. It still helps the child. So for the first 3 months, I still take my antenatal medication. It helps you especially if you're breastfeeding exclusively. You have to take tea. You have to take tea a lot. You could take Nigerian call it pap. It's made from corn. The paste is made from corn. You cook it and all of that. You take it. And what I usually make mine watery, a little watery. Take it so that I can have lots of fluid. You could also try out tiger nut drink. It's called kunuaya, popularly called kunuaya. You could try tiger nut drink. It's really wonderful. You could take yogurt, take milk, dairy products in general. It helps a lot. And you have to feed very well. Take lots of fruits, vegetables, food especially. Food. You take there's a particular food that I know works a lot like magic. When I eat it, it helps the breast milk, the flow of the breast milk. Beans. Beans helps a lot. I noticed it works, it helps a lot. So you have to feed very well. Practically it's like you are munching every time you are chewing. You have to chew. Sometimes while breastfeeding my child, I'm chewing something, or. And there's also something I do before before I breastfeed, every breastfeeding session, I make sure I drink water, at least 50 cl before I breastfeed every time. So it's really not funny because it's like you tend to go pee very frequently, but it helps you. It helps you. Children suckle. Babies suckle a lot, especially when you're breastfeeding exclusively. As they grow, they suckle and suckle. So you need to take care of yourself as a mother because if you don't, you just might find yourself fainting, because the pressure is on you. As the child is sucking, you need to feed well to regain your strength and all of that. So personally, those are my tips. That's what works for me, breastfeeding exclusively. And for some mothers that are unable to breastfeed exclusively, don't beat yourself up, because we all have different lives, different lifestyle. Some moms are super busy. Like after giving birth, like maybe like 2 months, they go back to work. So you cannot do exclusive breastfeeding. Okay, some person that may want to do it might go for extraction to extract the milk and probably put the child in a crutch or something. Whatever works for you, just know what works for you. So don't beat yourself up. You could do breastfeeding with water. Sometimes maybe when the baby has hiccup, you could just give the baby water instead of breastfeeding again. But for me, I go for exclusive breastfeeding, and these are the tips that help me. I drink lots of water. It's key. Lots of liquid is key. That is key for breastfeeding your child exclusively. And you need to take vitamins and make sure you continue taking your antenatal medication at least for the first 3 months. You still healthy. You stay fresh. You stay active and strong, because it's really a whole lot of load. So I want to advise and encourage moms out there that are exclusively breastfeeding to take care of themselves, drink loads of water, and try to get sleep. try to get sleep because the first 3 months of breastfeeding after giving birth to your child, you'll be sleep deprived, I tell you, because especially for the first 2 to 3 weeks, they wake up at night. Most times I tell people like it's like they have an alarm inside of them. Babies, what is like an hour every 2 hours at night they cry. You feed them every 2 hours, and most times I look at the clock like, how do they? Is it that there's an alarm or something? So you find out that you are not sleeping. You're unable to sleep at night because the child wakes up, cry, 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 cry. It's really it's really it's really a funny experience. At the same time, it's really not easy. So most people advise you that you should sleep when the baby is sleeping. Personally, for me personally, I must tell you, it doesn't really work for you to sleep as a mom when your baby is sleeping, because sometimes in the afternoon when your baby is asleep, you want to sleep, you might have something you want to do. So that advice to sleep when the baby is sleeping, oh, I tell you, all my pregnancies, giving birth, my experiences has really not worked. But you just have to find out time to rest, look out time, find out time, however little, to sleep and all of that. Sometimes you deal with back pain, breastfeeding, and all of that. So I advise you, instead of you leaning forward like this to breastfeed your baby, I advise you to rest. If you have a headboard, uh, or a bed, or a pillow, something, just rest your back while breastfeeding the baby, you know. And I don't know, for some persons, you just have to be very careful. Maybe after the first 1 month, you don't have to always sit up to breastfeed the baby. You could just lay down beside the baby and you breastfeed and all, because sometimes you might want to sleep off. And after the baby breastfeeds, you have to rub the back for the baby to bop, So it's really a challenging period, but it's wonderful when you have a supportive and wonderful partner. So sometimes we share it. Like I remember for my first child, after breastfeeding, my husband was always awake. So after breastfeeding my daughter, and I was really sleepy, so he always make sure he's awake. So once I'm done breastfeeding her, I offer, Miss, please don't forget to offer both breasts, offer the child both breasts, the right and the left. Make sure the child is full. Then I give my partner. Then he does the rubbing till the child bops. So that's how we share it. Then most times while he's doing that, I sleep off. Then he lays the baby. So it's really a wonderful process. But I've just decided to share my tips with you and what works for me. So to all mothers, whether you're exclusively breastfeeding your baby, or you're doing breastfeeding with water, or you're doing a baby formula, whatever it might be, whatever the circumstances might be, well done to moms and all the sacrifices you make. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye.